Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, and holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Much to the opposite of how I'm dressed, it's only like 45 degrees here today. So it's cold as fuck and it's raining, but my hair's wet anyways because I just got out of the shower. Forgive me for being late. Thank you for being here. Sorry, I have not done my chores. I've done some of my chores this morning, but not all of them. One of the chores that I didn't do this morning was doing a good job of picking court, but I trust in myself. I imagine that's a joke, but yeah, Vicky's here. Anyways, I trust in myself, and we do have a few things to talk about today. We're going to get started with a child support hearing, and then we are going to go on to a unique hearing. Hi, Courtney! We're going to go on to a unique hearing, something that we don't always listen to, but I think that will be interesting and spark some good discussion. So, let's continue. Let's begin. Tell me what you're drinking or having to drink for your beverage. Oh, I forgot my other beverage. I have ADHD, which means I need to have approximately 3 beverages on the go at one time in order to feel a good sense of equilibrium. I don't know if that's the same for you, but that is how it is for me. So I am on my way to grab the court of the day. Yeah, how's everybody's weekend been? It's Sunday. My birthday's on Tuesday. You know, apparently in Germany it's very bad luck to wish early birthdays. But I've been doing that like my whole life. I feel bad about that. I don't think we've watched this one. Seltzer water. Oh my God, no, right here.
Okay, so hopefully it's not
Have
going
you
to.
watched this one? It's just the 2 of them. I don't know that we have. Well, we're gonna get watching it now. A strong Bloody Mary, that'd be nice, eh? That'd be nice. Judge, go ahead.
Okay, so hopefully it's not going to echo the whole time.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm just waiting to see if it's going to talk back to me again.
Oh,
It is. Let's see.
I don't hear it.
No, I'm not German. I don't hear it
All right,
either,
'cause I don't know
Judge.
what else to do with it. All
You
right,
have another window
that's
open.
okay. Miss Guerra, are you ready for the default hearing?
yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Trevino, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The kids listed are Ariana, Noah, and Analia, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Then here we go. Court calls cause number 24-08-07912 in the interest of Ariana Rodriguez, Noah Taylor, and Analia Taylor. Appearing today through Zoom on video is the Assistant Attorney General, Ms. Trevino. Also appearing today through Zoom, but on the telephone, is Victoria Guerra. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you. And the court record reflects that Eric Rodriguez was served with this petition by citation on February 5th, 2024 or 2025, and that return, well, hang on, I had to write over it. Oh, December 5th, 2024. And that return was filed with the district clerk of Garza County. Was on I was clicking on all their cylinders when I prepped this docket. Hang on for me just one more second. I didn't write down when that return was filed. Okay, it was filed with the district clerk of Garza County on December 27th, 2024. So the time frame for Mr. Rodriguez to file an answer has expired and the return has been on file the required 10 days for a default hearing. Mr. Rodriguez has not appeared today, but he has appeared in the past and participated in genetic testing. So the way this works now for a default, which I do find this is appropriate, is it Ms. Trevino's motion, so she gets to go first. But if there's anything at the end, Ms. Guerra, that you think else I need to know, I'll give you the chance to tell me before I make a final ruling. Okay?
Yes, okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. It's still talking back to me, so it's a little confusing for me. So go ahead, Ms. Trevino.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will call Victoria Guerra.
All right. Ms. Guerra, please raise your right hand.
Yes, I'm raising it.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Go ahead, Ms. Trevino.
Thank you. Ms. Guerra, are you the mother to the 3 children listed in this case?
Yes, that is correct.
And who is listed as their father?
Eric Rodriguez is Ariana Rodriguez's father, and Noah Taylor and Analia Taylor are my fiancés.
Okay, and did you take your children to participate in paternity testing in this case?
Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
And what did the test report come back saying about Ariana?
It's 99% matches Eric Rodriguez. He's
And
a potential father.
And what did the test say about Noah?
They 0 match.
And what did it say about Analia?
0 match as well.
Okay. Your Honor, I would like to offer into evidence what is called the DNA test report as State's Exhibit 1 that was filed with the Garza County Clerk on March 10th, 2025.
Okay. Ms. Guerra, do you have any objection to me having the DNA report?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
No,
The
Your
State's Exhibit 1, the genetic testing report that was filed with the district clerk on March 10th, 2025, that showed that the probability that Eric Rodriguez is the father of the child Ariana was in excess of 99.99%. And the probability that he is the father of Analia and Noah is 0%, is admitted. Go ahead, Mr. Vino.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Guerra, we served Mr. Rodriguez in a Federal Bureau of Prison facility in Beaumont, Texas. Do you know if he's still there?
Yes, he is.
Do you have any idea when his release date is?
According to the website, it's in 2028, sometime in that year.
Okay. And do you understand that because he will be incarcerated for more than 180 days, we will ask the court to set child support and medical support at 0?
Okay.
And how is Ariana covered under medical insurance?
I was getting Medicaid for her.
Okay, do you have access to put her on another insurance at a reasonable cost?
I tried to, but we moved to CHIP. That's the most that I can do right now.
Okay. And there is also something called retroactive child support. That is child support that can go back for a few years. Is that something that you would like to request? That this court
Not at the
order?
moment, no.
Okay. Does Ariana have any kind of contact with Mr. Rodriguez?
He calls her whenever he gets a chance. He will contact her, only her. Yes.
And do you want this court to put in place a possession order so that he has visitation when he's released?
Can you elaborate that a little bit? Like, what does that mean? I'm not too familiar with this.
Okay, so when he gets out of prison,
Mhm.
then he'll be able to do more than talk on the phone. So
Okay.
when we have cases like this, the courts will enter orders saying that certain visits need to happen. They can be overnight, they can be for a few hours, they can be supervised. What would you want her to have? What would you want her visits to look like with her father?
Oh, okay. Well, we had an agreement when we got out because she would be a little bit older. So she said she was gonna just whatever she feels comfortable doing, I'll allow it as long as she's comfortable. I'm not gonna take her away from her father. So I don't need to place that order. That's fine.
Do you believe that you and Mr. Rodriguez can be joint managing conservators, or do you want to be the only conservator that makes decisions for your daughter?
Honestly, I would say me because I've been the only one there for her since she's been there. He's always been incarcerated on and off, and I wouldn't feel comfortable with him making decisions with her.
Okay, and how long has he been incarcerated this time?
He had an 11-year sentence, so he's been in there about 6 years or so. And then he was in there before that as well.
Okay. Does he have any other children besides Ariana?
Yes,
How many others under 18?
2.
Do you know if he has child support orders for them?
No,
You don't
I'm not
know, or
sure.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Do you have any safety concerns about Mr. Rodriguez having your contact information?
That I do. We had that's the whole reason why I put that in the application. I was wanting to be confidential because of just like he used to be domestic to me, like domestic violence to me, and there was like certain things that he said over the phone when I like pursued to move on in another relationship, which were kind of like threats. So I didn't feel comfortable with him knowing my physical address.
Okay. And are you legally married to him?
I am. We are in the process of getting a divorce.
Okay. Have you actually filed that paperwork yet, Miss Guerra?
I did, and we needed documentation proving that Noah and Analia were not his kids, since he was not wanting to cooperate with.
Okay. Miss Guerra, do
the
you have a
paperwork.
cause number?
A cause number
Yeah, a cause number?
for the divorce?
Yes.
Let me see if I can get that paperwork for you. 1 minute.
Because Mr. Vino, I lose jurisdiction.
Oh shit.
Sorry.
And she's searching
That's
for
okay.
this divorce.
It was my understanding that it couldn't move forward, but
Well,
I didn't ask for
they
a
have the DNA, yeah. But they have the DNA, so.
Sorry, one moment. I am pulling up my file right now.
Is it in Garza County?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
I don't know how to
Um,
search them all, thank you.
It just I had went in front of the judge, but he just couldn't grant it
Okay,
due to that. But I think this is it right here. Okay. Okay, so the case number for this is, oh, I think she made a 22-12-07752.
okay. All right, good news for you, Ms. Trevino, that's been dismissed for want of jurisdiction.
I thought so when I heard the 2-2, or I
Yeah,
hoped so.
okay. All right, good news, Miss Guerra, is that we can go ahead and get this taken care of, but you have to refile your divorce.
Okay, so
Okay.
I just have to go back to the county clerks and redo it.
Yes, because
Okay.
when a case sits for a couple of years, the court will go through and dismiss it on its own.
Okay.
Okay,
Understandable.
that's
Okay.
what happened
Okay.
in that cause number. So just go back and file a new one. Make sure you take a copy of your of the DNA results.
Okay.
Okay,
Will
and
do.
tell them about this court order.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Will do. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry about that,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Vito. You can go
No.
back to asking your question.
It's okay. I should have asked that at the very beginning. Okay. I believe that was it. I covered the non-disclosure and that's all of it. I rest, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Miss Guerra, does Mr. Rodriguez have any income that you're aware of while he's incarcerated?
Not that I'm aware of, because
Okay.
not that I'm aware of, none at all.
All right. Okay. And let's see. I was thinking there was something else I wanted to ask you, but I think Mr. Vino got it. Okay. Is there anything else you think I ought? Oh, I know what it is. Ariana's going to be 18 by the time he gets out, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
She should be. Yeah, she would be up there because she's 15 this year. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Or just about 18 because her birthday's in November. And
Mhm.
she doesn't have.
Bob, tell me you're not here very often without telling me you're not here very often. I would challenge you to find any videos or lives that I put descriptions in. Sometimes I don't even make thumbnails. Imagine that. I'm a shit YouTuber.
I mean, she's tracking along fine, and at 18, she's gonna be a competent adult.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
because we had this conversation, and yeah, so she decided she wants to make her own decision.
Okay. Well, at 17, she's probably okay with that. All right. Anything else you think I ought to know, Miss Guerra?
He sells ramen packs from
No, Your
commissary.
Honor, that should be it.
Okay. Then here's anything else, Mr. Vino?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Court finds I have jurisdiction over the parties and over the subject matter. Court finds that based on the genetic testing that Eric Rodriguez is in fact the father of the child Ariana Rodriguez. And since she was born before the marriage, the court does establish the legal parent-child relationship between Mr. Rodriguez and that child. The court finds that although the other two children, Noah and Analia, were born during the marriage, that the presumption has been rebutted and that Mr. Rodriguez is in fact not the father of those children. And I enter an adjudication of non-parentage as to both Noah and Analia. I find that the presumption for joint managing conservatorship has been rebutted, and I appoint the mother, Victoria Guerra, as the sole managing conservator of the child, Ariana. I do appoint Mr. Rodriguez as a possessory conservator that gives him certain rights and duties, and one of those rights is visitation. However, based on his incarceration, I am not going to enter a court-ordered possession schedule. So when he gets out, even if there's some quirk and he gets out early, there's not a time he can just show up on your doorstep and say, okay, I'm here, Ariana, let's go. So that's just something y'all are gonna, and I don't disagree that Ariana should have some input into that. But it's just gonna have to be at this point as agreed between you and Mr. Rodriguez, okay?
Yes.
Okay. I know that the federal system usually they serve pretty much all of their time. So, but
Mm-hmm.
you never know. Something happens and he gets, they overturn something and he gets released. Then you just start the agreements earlier. Okay.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
And also based upon his incarceration, I find that he
Wait, I have a question. Also, Ed, that's a really good title for this video. If I was gonna make it into a video. But second thought is, can you be engaged while already married? What are the rules on that? What are the rules on that? Asking for a friend. I'm not married anymore.
that Mr. Rodriguez currently has a gross monthly income of 0 and a net monthly income of 0. One child before the court and 2 other children he has a duty to support. Guideline rate 12.5%, but 12.5% of 0 is 0. So I do order Mr. Rodriguez to pay current child support of 0 and cash medical support of 0 monthly obligations, both beginning April 1st, 2025. I enter no retroactive support judgments. And just so you know, Ms. Guerra, I can't go back more than 48 months, and he's been incarcerated for more than that. So I couldn't have entered a retroactive judgment even if you'd wanted one. Okay. Let's see. I do order Ms. Guerra to maintain the child on the government medical assistance program. That does include CHIP, so you're fine. If you do have any out-of-pocket unreimbursed medical expenses, those are split between the parents 50-50. There is a process if you think you're going to have to come back to court to get that money. It is laid out in the court order. Please be sure to review it. I will grant the requested non-disclosure of Ms. Guerra's information. I'm making that note. I hadn't written it down before. And I order Mr. Rodriguez to pay the court costs in this matter due as billed to Garza County District Clerk's office in 30 days. Obviously, he won't pay that till he gets out, but he will still owe it at that time. Is that all your issues, Ms. Trevino?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Ms. Guerra, what happens now is Ms. Trevino is going to put all this in writing. She'll send it to me. I'll check it, sign it, send it back. And then the AG's office will mail you and Mr. Rodriguez a copy of the order. Now, you've got two options. If you do not agree with what I've ruled, you have the right to ask the district court to rehear any or all of it. Or when you file for your divorce, you'll need to consolidate this order into that divorce anyway. So you can address it again in the divorce decree. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. But if you want to file the de novo, or if Mr. Rodriguez wants to file the de novo, you only have 3 business days to file that. For you, that's Monday of next week. For Mr. Rodriguez, it's basically 3 days after he gets his copy of the order. If you don't do it just right, you might not go anywhere. So I do strongly suggest that if you want to do that, you at least talk to a private attorney about how to do that. I'm not telling you to file or not file a de novo. I just had to make sure you knew you had the right to file one. Okay?
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. Ms. Guerra, thank you so much for your patience and for showing up today. I really appreciate it. But we are done. We are adjourned, and you are free to go by simply hanging up the phone.
Oh my, peace out, Miss Guerrera, or whatever her name was. So that was our child support hearing for the day. A bit unique. The child that was not his of the marriage was his. The two children that were of the marriage were not his. Sort of backwards to how that usually goes. But we're not done yet. Now we have something a bit unique. This is not something that we always watch often. And generally speaking, this process is generally handled differently in different jurisdictions. So it was interesting to me when I caught my ear on this hearing what they were testifying about. So, but to be clear, this hearing coming up is a mental health docket. We take mental health seriously around here, which means that you should prioritize your mental health. If something in these videos is triggering to you, please take a step back. Or if you feel better, talk more. That's fine too. But just as a heads up, we are going to be hearing doctors testify about people that are currently confined to hospitals. So it goes by quite quickly. There's a lot to do. Hi, Carol. But did what bleed dead? So, for example, where I live, this is a tribunal. It's private. That would not be broadcast because it's not in front of a real judge. It's in front of a appointed government employee who's been trained specifically to
I'm sorry,
review
Judge, I
mental
just
health
got on the phone
files.
with, off the phone with, Kingwood Pines. I can't hear you, sorry. Hey, sorry. It's Kingwood Pines. I don't know how you want to handle this today. I've talked to all three clients, and we can do it each one, but I've never had this happen before where none of them are in the shape to attend the hearing is the best way I can put it.
So no one's coming.
No, and it's TC and Force Meds. Normally I have at least one that's wanting to come, but one is not speaking. One told me that she would set me on fire. And the other,
Okay,
Alex was just on the phone with, doesn't understand what's going on, is what she told me.
all right. Martha,
Oh my gosh. First of all, thank you, Reseller Road Trip Adventures, 11 months. Vicky, 16 months. You guys are so great. That was crazy. And I guess, you know what? I'm not going to shame anybody that is engaged to a married person. No judgment here. Thank you so much, Gecko Chaser. Full term, baby. That's right. Full 9 months. Thank you guys so much for the support. Spoiler alert, most of these people show up.
on 25-19803 and 25-19910, Jessica Mikulski, Kingwood Pines, are y'all there?
Yes, ma'am.
Is Miss Mikulski going to be joining us today?
No.
Okay, why not?
Yeah.
I can't get locked in. It's just for the court. I need you to come have a seat so you.
Kingwood Pines, why will Jessica not be here?
Oh, yes, ma'am. She's not responding.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So Sheena,
All right.
thank you so much.
And
16
Galaxy
months.
A71,
That's Cy Creek. She told me she did not want to be here, but if she wants to be here now, that's fine as well.
all right.
You can speak.
Okay, is my husband coming to visit today?
Okay.
This food.
Uh, So what is your name?
My lawyer coming today?
Your lawyer is here.
Sweetly.
Okay, so Cypress Creek, y'all need to get her to a place where I can't hear people yelling in the background.
Live reporting.
Can you come have a seat so they can hear you?
We'd be in your trouble. You'd get in trouble.
I'm gonna leave the door cracked open, but with her, they can't hear you.
We don't need to come in.
Yeah, but
Okay, I'm gonna put you in the waiting room so you can get this sorted out, okay?
she's
All right, so let's see, who do we have? All right, so the first one was McCluskey from Kingwood Pines. Dr. Ty, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're gonna start with yours because I know what's going on with your patient. She's not attending. 25-19803 and 25-19910. In the interest of JM, can I get announcements of council?
Juan Chen for the state ready.
Audio for the patient ready.
Okay, and state, go ahead.
Judge, I've got 3 exhibits I'd like marked and admitted at this time. Exhibit A is our first certificate of medical examination. Exhibit B is our second certificate of medical examination. Exhibit C is our application for treatment of this patient.
No objection.
A, B, and C are admitted.
I'll ask if the ad litem will stipulate the credentials of Dr. Ty as a psychiatrist.
So stipulated.
The state will call Dr. Ty.
Okay, Dr. Ty, can I get you to raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. Doctor, can you state your full name?
Mustafa Tai,
And what facility do you work at?
Kingwood Pines Hospital.
And do you know Miss Jessica McCluskey?
Yes.
She a patient of yours?
Yes.
How long approximately has she been a patient of yours?
I believe about 14, 15 days now.
And about how many times have you met with her?
Almost on a daily basis. And most recently, just today.
Do you feel like you have enough information at this time to diagnose her?
Yes.
And what's your diagnosis?
So I believe we had initially submitted a diagnosis of brief psychotic disorder, but at this time I'd like to change it to schizophrenia.
Okay. What are the primary symptoms that she exhibits?
I'm sorry, repeat that, please.
What symptoms does she exhibit?
She's exhibiting significant disorganization. She's exhibiting auditory hallucinations, delusions of paranoia and grandiosity. She's responding to internal stimuli, and she's displaying disorganized speech and behaviors.
Okay. Has she threatened to harm herself or others since she's been at your facility?
Not directly. She talks about wanting to start World War III, but other than that, she hasn't specifically mentioned anybody she would want to harm or herself.
Do you know if she's been hospitalized for mental illness in the past?
Yes, I believe she has been hospitalized, although the information we have is very limited.
Do you know if she's been given
Scott, can you
antipsychotic
maybe-
medications in the past?
Like, why is your nose up there, Scott? What is going on here? This is serious shit, and it is sad. But, you know, these are court proceedings because these are legal proceedings. I think we listened to 3 cases. They're, it's interesting to me to see how the court operates here. It's well oiled, it's well practiced. Obviously, they do this a lot, but they still have to get certain things on the record.
Yes, we do know she has been given antipsychotic medications in the past. Which medications, we don't know, but we did get report that she has been non-compliant with them.
Okay. Doctor, in your opinion, because of her mental illness, is she likely to cause harm to herself or others at this time?
Yes.
And do you also believe that because of her mental illness, she's suffering severe and abnormal mental, emotional, and or physical distress that would substantially inhibits her ability to take care of herself?
Yes.
And what is your proposed treatment for her condition?
My proposed treatment is starting her on a course of antipsychotics, which she would, you know, if the court allows, we would give her to her even if she refuses, and hopefully get better that way.
Has she agreed to take any antipsychotics since she's been under your care?
So in the last 14 days she has been here, of the 28 doses of medicine she should have received, she's taken maybe 4 or 5. So she has been very inconsistent.
Has she given any reason why she's refusing to take the other medication?
Nothing legible or of any significance.
Approximately how long, assuming that she starts taking the medication regularly, approximately how long do you believe she'll need under your care?
I would say within 2 weeks she should be fit for discharge.
Thank you, Doctor. I'll pass the witness.
Ross?
Submitted, it said that Klosky
Can't
was
hear
suffering.
you, Ms. Guabadia.
I'm sorry. According to the paperwork that was submitted, it indicates that Miss McCloskey was suffering from what she believed to be demonic possession. Do you think she understands that she's suffering from a psychiatric illness right now?
I don't believe she understands that at this time.
Do you, in your opinion, does she understand the benefit of the medications you're trying to give her?
I don't believe so.
Has she given you any reason for not taking the medication?
No.
Okay, is there any indication by her records or anybody else that she might be allergic to any of these medications?
No, not that I'm aware.
Okay. And is there any concerns that she might have any adverse reactions to these medications?
No, not that I'm aware.
And finally, has there been any expression that she has any moral or religious objections to these medications?
No.
Without these medications, will Miss McCloskey be able to return to her status quo?
No.
Pass the witness.
Okay, state,
The state will rest.
defense,
Nothing further, Judge.
the application's granted. We can move on to the next portion of the hearing.
Dr. Tai, what specific classes of medications are you asking this court to authorize at this time?
Antipsychotics and mood stabilizers. And anxiolytic hypnotics.
Okay. So, did you say antidepressants, antipsychotics, and anxiolytics?
I said antipsychotics, not antidepressants.
Oh, okay. So antipsychotics, anxiolytics, and mood stabilizers. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
And what specific medication would would you have her start on?
Haloperidol.
And that's an antipsychotic?
Yes.
Do you know if she's taken that in the past?
I don't know if she's taken that in the past.
What are the possible side effects that you'll look out for if she were to start taking that medication?
Potentially, muscle cramping, spasms, or stomach upset, GI distress, things along those lines.
Do you believe that that medication's in her best interest at this time?
Yes.
Do you believe that she lacks the capacity because of her mental illness to make a informed decision about whether or not to take that medication on her own?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, KTZ, by the way. Welcome. What time's your show later? Let's throw that up on in the chat. I think we have a command for your channel. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, this is sad, but I thought these medications took a little bit longer to work. You know? You know what I'm saying? 4:30 East. Perfect. Okay, so that's what, 1:30? 1:30 Pacific. Awesome. I'll be done by then. And I'll be doing members only later tonight. So you guys should go have fun. Oh, doxing and swatting. Terrible things. Terrible things. Both of them. Not good. We're sort of watching a bit of a downer episode here, but these hearings I find very interesting. So the first part of this hearing was granted. They've now moved on to the portion where he is applying to forcibly medicate her. So this is interesting. Sad, but interesting.
What is her prognosis if she were to start taking the medication regularly?
Fair.
What about her prognosis without the medication?
Poor.
Is there any chance, in your opinion, that she will stabilize without the medication?
No.
Is there any less intrusive but just as effective treatment other than the medication for her?
No.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
Okay.
Do you, Dr. Ty, your application, you just testified that you are not seeking antidepressants, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so your application indicates that you are seeking to be able to administer antidepressants, but the court does not need to order those medications today, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so it's antipsychotics, anxiolytics, and mood stabilizers,
Yes.
sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
And if there's any adverse reaction, you'll monitor her to make sure that you combat any adverse reaction?
Yes.
And have you talked to her family at all?
I believe we did speak with her mother.
Okay, did her mother give you any information about any medications that might have worked in the past?
So no, that's the reason I said we unfortunately could not. Her mother could not provide which medication she has been on in the past. However, her mother did say that she has been off of her medications for some time.
That's the witness.
Data
Okay.
rest.
Defense?
Thank you, further judge.
Okay, the application is granted. So for the state, if someone can get Woodland Springs, I don't have them here. I'm gonna go back to Cypress
Hey.
Creek.
I'm here.
Oh, but we need the patient. We need,
Fine. She's
Yeah.
not showing up, but yeah.
I need the facility to get that on the record.
Okay.
Judge, may I be excused? Am I done with my hearing?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you can believe it, this case is even sadder than the last
Amy,
one.
also on number 32 on the docket, I don't have a cause number. If you could chat it to me. Okay, Cypress Creek, are y'all situated?
I can try again real quick to see if she
Oh,
will.
or maybe they're going
One
back to this
second.
lady?
Yeah, she told me, well, I don't think she'll be appearing, Judge, based on my conversation with her, but
Court is calling 25-19812 and 25-199, I'm sorry, and 25-19911. KW.
And I think that
All right, sit down.
exposing this type of thing is probably
Obviously,
good
you
for
can hold the phone.
people
No,
to know
it's
about.
okay. Okay, hold the phone. It's okay.
Hey. Hi, can I get you to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. Dr. Swain, can you unmute so we can do the same thing? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, so y'all can both put your hands down. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. I've got 3 exhibits I'd like marked and admitted at this time. Exhibit A is the first certificate of medical examination. Exhibit B is the second, and Exhibit C is our application for treatment of this patient. I'd like those admitted at this time.
A, B, and C are admitted.
I'll ask if the ad litem will stipulate to the credentials of Dr. Swain as a psychiatrist.
stipulated.
The state will call Dr. Swain.
Okay,
Doctor, please state your full name
Scott Swain,
and what facility do you work at?
Cypress Creek Hospital.
And do you know Miss Karen Wesley?
Yes.
Am I saying her name right?
Westlie?
Wesley, okay. And is she a patient of yours?
Yes.
Approximately how long has she been a patient of yours?
About 2 weeks.
And approximately how many times have you met with her?
About 12.
Do you feel like you have enough information at this time to diagnose her?
I do.
And what is your diagnosis?
Bipolar 1 disorder, most recent episode manic severe with psychotic features.
Okay, and what symptoms have you observed or has been recorded?
She's the entirety of her admission, she's sleeping maybe 2 to 5 hours at most. She's extremely loud, intrusive. She believes, this morning when I spoke with her, she believed her mouth was being sewn shut, and so she wasn't able to talk to me. She's extremely disorganized and paranoid. She attempted to attack her husband with a golf club before admission.
You know if she's been hospitalized or treated for mental illness in the past?
She has been able to speak with her husband with her consent that she's done well on Invega Sustenna, the long-acting form in the past. And that was my plan of action this time as well.
Okay. Has she agreed to take any of those medications voluntarily?
She has refused every dose of the medication.
Has she given a reason?
She has not.
Do you believe that because of her mental illness, she currently poses a risk to herself and or others?
I do.
Do you also believe that because of her mental illness, she lacks the capacity to make an informed decision about whether or not to continue care under your treatment?
I do.
Approximately how long do you think you needed for her to remain inpatient under your care?
I would say 7 to 10 days.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
Ross,
Dr. Swain, does the patient have any history of Alzheimer's or dementia?
No.
And when talking to the husband, how many times has the patient been hospitalized in the past?
I believe it's at least 4. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Do you know when the most recent hospitalization was?
Not off the top of my head, I do not.
Okay. Do you know if it was in the past 6 months by any chance?
I wish I had that information for you.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. Thank you. And has the husband indicated that he is in favor of an extended treatment for his wife?
He suggests he's happy to see her as soon as she has some kind of treatment, as she's done well on these treatments in the past.
Okay. Would he be willing to welcome her home if she was discharged today?
No.
And do you think this is in her best interest?
I do.
All right. Pass the witness, Judge.
okay,
State
Thank-
arrest.
defense,
Judge, I can't tell if Miss Westley wants to say anything, so I
Okay.
apologize.
Miss Westley, do you want to participate in the hearing? Just nod if you do, shake if you don't. No? Okay, all right. So the application is granted. We can move to the next hearing.
Doctor, what specific classes of medication are you asking this court to authorize at this time?
Antipsychotics and anxiolytics.
And what specific medication would you start her on?
Invega.
And you said that you believe she's taken that in the past and responded well?
She has.
Approximately how long do you think she needs to take that regularly before she might stabilize where you might consider releasing her?
Again, about 7 to 10 days.
What side effects would you look out for with Invega?
I would look out for muscle stiffness as the main side effect, and we have medications to counteract that.
Do you believe that the patient currently lacks the capacity to make a decision about whether or not to take that medication at this time because of her mental illness?
I do.
What is her prognosis with the medication?
Good. She'll be able to return home with her husband.
And what about her prognosis without the medication?
Or she'll likely end up homeless and harm somebody.
Do you believe that she might stabilize on her own without the medication?
I do not.
Do you believe medication's in her best interest at this time?
I do.
Is there any treatment other than the medication which would be less intrusive but just as effective?
No.
Thank you, doctor. I'll pass the witness.
Ross,
Dr. Swain, has the husband indicated that she has any allergic reactions or adverse reactions to any of the medications that you're proposing?
He does not.
And any religious or moral objections?
No.
Pass the witness, Judge.
okay, state,
State rest.
Defense rest. Defense rest, Judge.
Okay, it's granted. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Cypress Creek. We have Woodland Springs, so we can go ahead and call 25-19799 and 25-19947 in the interest of BD. Woodland Springs, do y'all have Brittany Dunlap Batiste?
She's not wanting to appear today.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, Bill, thank you so much. $4 for medication. Get your medication, people. Take your medication, people. No shame in that game. Thank you so much, Bill. I appreciate that. But seriously, these are sad but reality situations. This is the last bit we're going to watch, and then we're going to take a break, and then we'll be back later on for members only. That's right, 2 shows in a day, baby.
Dr. Lucas, can I get you to raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And Woodland Springs, your excuse. Thanks. Okay, go ahead, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. I've got 3 exhibits I'd like admitted at this time. Exhibit A is our first certificate of medical examination. Exhibit B is our second certificate of medical examination. And Exhibit C is our application for treatment. I'd like those admitted at this time.
Objection.
A, B, and C are admitted.
I ask if the ad litem will stipulate to the credentials of Dr. Lucas as a psychiatrist.
So stipulated.
The state will call Dr. Lucas. Doctor, please state your full name.
Marshall Brent Lucas, MD.
And what facility do you work at?
Woodland Springs Hospital.
And do you know Brittany Dunlop Batiste?
Yes, she is my patient at the hospital, has been since February 28th of this year.
Approximately how many times have you met with her?
I've met with her about 10 times, and then my nurse practitioner who consults with me daily has met with her on the balance of those days.
Do you believe you have enough information at this time to diagnose her?
Yes, she suffers from a diagnosis of schizophrenia, catatonic type.
Okay. And what symptoms does she exhibit?
Disorganized thinking and behavior, posturing, selective mutism, what we call waxy flexibility, where she'll posture and not move, or respond to being led, but then stand and stay in sort of a frozen state.
Are you able to communicate with her effectively at all?
Not really. She does not produce words. She will look at you and will communicate it's time to eat. She may or may not eat. She may or may not engage in bathing or other things. She will not respond verbally, however, and has not throughout the course of this hospitalization to any of us.
Do you know if she's been hospitalized for this or similar condition in the past?
Absolutely. She spent approximately 8 days at Cypress Creek Hospital where she took an antipsychotic and at least was verbal. She then went to follow up at Tri-County and relapsed back into a nonverbal state and was brought here. And that has been within the past month.
Okay. Do you believe that currently she is likely to cause harm to herself or others?
I do. I do believe that she'll cause harm to herself if she is left because she is unable to communicate her needs and is unable to procure food or housing. She'll essentially become homeless and become very vulnerable.
You also believe that she's suffering severe and abnormal mental, emotional, and physical distress that interferes with her capacity to make an informed decision about whether or not to continue care with you?
Yes, I believe the inability to speak and the inability to reason with us does reflect the loss of any sort of executive functioning.
What did you propose treatment for her at this time?
Medication. She has received Zyprexa or had received Zyprexa while at Cypress Creek, responded well to that. We intend to give her a similar, if not Zyprexa, but give her a similar antipsychotic, risperidol, with a long-acting injectable in a 2-month form to get her to Tri-County so she can continue with treatment.
Have you been able to administer any of that medication to her under this current hospitalization?
No, we've not. She's not given consent despite multiple entreaties on an almost daily basis.
Has she given any reason why she's refusing?
She's not communicating, not saying anything.
If and when she starts taking the medication regularly, how quickly do you anticipate she might stabilize to the point where you might consider releasing her?
Most folks within 7 to 10 days will do the standard course for something like this.
Since I gotta ask a question, since when did 7 to 10 fucking business days become the norm to get people back into like tip-top shape or able to leave a hospital psychiatrically? I'm not, again, I always thought medications took a little bit longer, but have they improved? Have they improved? Like, I thought some of these medications would take 6 weeks to start getting in. And I'm glad to hear that they have an injectable 2-month slow release version, but why was that not given the first time? And again, this is a very sad case. But again, they're coming here because they want her committed and medicated. I think the government's in charge of the insurance at this point, but let's see.
Once she starts taking the medicine.
Thank you, doctor. I'll pass the witness.
Thank you, Dr. Lucas. You testified that she was just in Cypress Creek in the past month. This is her second hospitalization, I believe. Are you looking for a 45 or 90-day commitment?
45-day.
Okay, do you think that's sufficient for Miss Brittany?
I do. I truly do. I think we can, with catatonia responds quite favorably to benzodiazepines like lorazepam, and I believe I will ask for that in the next hearing, and then also antipsychotics. So I do believe she'll be able to respond.
It's true. Give almost anybody a little bit of Ativan, lorazepam, any of the PAM medications, and you will find that sweet little taste under your tongue does make everything feel just a little bit better. I want some.
Fairly favorably. My experience has been within 3 to 5 days, the patients respond, you're able to negotiate a treatment plan and get them out within 7 to 10 days. So I do believe that. I believe that, though I don't want to throw a fly in the ointment, but I do believe that Tri-County, who is responsible for her, is seeking state hospitalization for her. And that may impact that decision, but I'm asking for 45 because I don't think we'll need much more than 7 to 10 days to get her back to where she's functioning. I'm sorry, that's a long answer. I apologize.
No. And Judge, gonna apologize for the next question I'm gonna ask. I mean, if they're seeking for a state hospitalization, do you know if that application's been filed yet?
I don't know. They have just indicated to us through utilization review that they've put her on some list.
Okay. But you're still seeking 45 days instead of the 90 days?
Yes.
Does she have some place to be released to if she improves?
She has not communicated to us anything, and so and there are no phone numbers on either her Cypress Creek chart, Tri-County information, or our chart. There are no family members or no family contact. So what the plan is to get her to where she's verbal and speaking, and then be able to engage her in the discharge planning process.
Okay. If Tri-County does seek state hospitalization and needs an additional period of time, are you going to come back to this court for additional time?
She will then go back to Tri-County. If Tri-County asks us to do so, I think she'll clear up enough that she won't need state hospitalization, but and then she'll be able to function. But yes, I will come back if need be.
Thank you. Pass the witness.
State,
Big arrest.
defense.
Nothing further, Judge.
Okay, so the application is granted. We can move on to the next.
Doctor, what classes of medications are you asking the court to authorize at this time?
Anxiolytics and antipsychotics. State of the art is to use anxiolytics such as lorazepam intramuscularly or orally for this catatonia. There is a small body of literature that talks about antipsychotics being helpful for schizophrenia, but some days or sometimes will work against the catatonic part of this. So we'll be using those very judiciously, and both of those. But the standard will be to use the lorazepam or the benzodiazepines first, then introduce antipsychotics such as Zyprexa Zydis.
Yeah, the lorazepam, the benzodiazepines are immediate acting, which means that they will have an effect very quickly. They're anxiolytics, which means they reduce anxiety. They change how your brain works and processes different things. And so that's why in most cases of catatonia, that type of thing can release the anxiety that may be holding somebody from speaking. Now, with schizophrenia, you have to be careful. This is a very unique mental illness, obviously, and this doctor knows more about it than I could ever fucking dream of knowing. But I'm hopeful based on his prognosis. I don't know how old she is. I'm vibing that she's young, and that makes me sad.
If we need to do something intramuscular, we'll do haloperidol intramuscular, and that combination should help. Ultimately, we'll arrive at a long-acting injectable for her that can keep her out of the hospital and out of the system.
And it's your opinion that within 7 to 10 days of her taking that medication, she'll be stabilized to the extent where you could release her?
Yes, I believe that. Yes.
Do you believe that because of her mental illness at this time, she lacks the capacity to make a informed decision about whether or not to take those medications?
I do. I believe the psychosis associated with the schizophrenia and the catatonia has her unable to make a reasonable and rational decision.
Are there any specific side effects you will have to look out for with any of these medications?
I think sedation and trouble swallowing would be the two big concerns. We can monitor those. We have medicines or remedies for those, and we monitor those carefully. We have patient care assistants who monitor every 15 minutes. We have nurses checking daily rounds by myself and my nurse practitioners. So we have various levels of observation there to address that.
Do you believe that the medications are in her best interest at this time?
Yes, absolutely.
And what is your opinion for prognosis with the medications?
Optimistic. I believe she'll be able to communicate again, and I believe we'll get enough information to get her set back with either family or in a safe living environment.
What about her prognosis without the medications?
I think continued decline, homelessness, vulnerability, and being taken advantage of.
Do you believe there's any chance that she will snap out of the catatonia without the medication?
I don't. She went to Cypress Creek and received medication, left, relapsed. With each relapse, it becomes tougher to treat. So I don't think she'll snap out. No. Good question, though.
Is there any treatment that's just as effective as the medication but less intrusive, in your opinion?
No, electroconvulsive therapy, because of anesthesia, is much more restrictive. Otherwise, that's the state-of-the-art treatment. So, but it's not less restrictive.
Okay. Thank you, doctor. I'll pass the word, Miss.
Thank you. Doctor, if you anticipate this medication to help improve Miss Brittany's symptoms, would you be offering her ECT as a potential option if you think she might be able to knowingly and informed consent to it?
No, because she's under the Tri-County contract and they won't pay for that. If she were to procure insurance, I would have a discussion. Well, I will have a discussion. I do with all my patients. But if she had insurance, then who would pay the anesthesiologist? Then we would discuss that as a treatment course for the future, because it tends to work the most beautifully for this type of catatonia.
Okay, but for her, it's just not an option because she's under the Tri-County umbrella.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Pass the witness.
Wait,
State will rest.
defense.
Nothing further, Judge.
It's granted. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you. Thanks. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.
You too, sir.
That's it. That's that, you guys. I know that wasn't exactly fun, but I think that we need to shed light on these things sometimes. Everybody was very respectful, and I appreciate all of us for being very respectful as well. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, KTZ has a show going on a little bit later, and then I will be back tonight, I think about 4:30 Pacific. I think that's like 7:30 East. And I will do a little bit more looking and find some more court. My hair will probably be dried by then. Everybody, let's get laid and meet back here later, okay? Sound like a plan? Do me a favor, remember that I love you and I'm proud of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.
Ways down,